So we are at the end of June. So we are kind of in the middle of summer, if you will. As always, I always like to start off with my gratitude. Thank you so much for listening to the last episode. I love my fans. I got listeners from all over. I just found out I have new listeners from Canada and Brazil. And I think another country too. I don't want to put up because it kind of interferes with everything. But thank you so much to the new listeners. I'm so international, I guess. Humble brag. So what's been going on? A lot's been going on. We actually just got off of a couple holidays, and then the 4th of July is coming up. But I'm Black, so that doesn't have anything to do with me. We just celebrated Juneteenth. Quiet celebration for me. But then what bothers me is like companies and corporations and stuff want to celebrate after Juneteenth, which makes no sense. I mean, it's like you want to celebrate Thanksgiving in the second week of December. It just makes no sense to me because like this town I live close by, I don't want to say the name of the town because y'all gonna kind of figure out where I live, but they have their Juneteenth was on June 19th, right? That's why it's called Juneteenth. They wanted to have their celebration on June 22nd. That does not make no type of sense. All the celebrations and stuff is gone. People put up their Juneteenth decorations to next Juneteenth, and now you want to have some on the 22nd. It's just so behind. But I didn't really get a chance to do anything for Juneteenth. I just, tweeted Happy Juneteenth and then just kept it pushing. Another holiday that we just finished celebrating is Father's Day. Father's Day was quiet for me. As I told you guys in the last episode, my grandfather passed away, my mother's father. So of course my mom was like really quiet on Father's Day. Everyone knows I normally go see my father on Father's Day, but this year I just wanted to kind of fall back. And it sucks because the reason why I didn't go anywhere is because I peeped stuff and I found out stuff, and not only that, but my last visit with my dad wasn't very fun. I don't want to go into peep stuff and find out stuff because, it's a big mess. But I will say things were happening under my father's nose, and my father was not defending my name. I'll keep it at that. And then the last visit wasn't very fun. Everyone knows I have very severe anxiety. I have PTSD. I have it's a mental disorder, basically. And when I was at my father's house and it was coming out, my anxiety, my, everything I go through on a daily basis, anxiety, PTSD, all that stuff. My father just kind of shuts it down. Now, when I was at my dad's house for his birthday, it's not the first time I expressed that I have anxiety. But my father is from that generation where they just shut it down. Like, it's not real. Like, for me, legit, it is real. It is in my medical file. Like, I legit have this disability. And people always ask me, like, well, why can't you go to therapy and all that stuff? The last set of benefits I had from my last job, unfortunately, did not have the best resources. I didn't have the best doctors. I didn't have the best, and I couldn't afford it. Like, it was $100 and something an hour, and it was bad enough that like I was paying $80 in co-pays almost once a week. So it was just not affordable to me. So my father kind of was not, I don't want to say accepting, but he wasn't understanding of my condition and how I live life. And I remember my brother and my sister-in-law were there, and they were having a group conversations. Everyone who knows me knows, and I hate having to start my sentences like that. Everyone who knows me knows I don't do well in group conversations. I don't like group conversations. And then I'm not saying like don't do it around me. You guys can do whatever you want around me. But for me, if say, you know, me and 7 of my friends are at brunch and 7 of my friends are glued into one conversation and it's about one thing, one band, one sound, right? I'm going to be sitting at the edge all the way down on the other side. I'm going to be listening, but I'm not going to be participating because I just am not that good with group conversations. So, it on the outside, it just seemed like I wasn't interested. I wasn't, I didn't want to participate in the conversation, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is was because it was too much for me. It was overstimulating. And I told my dad, because my dad, he's a talker. Like, he talks about a lot of stuff. But the way my dad goes about it is he talks a lot and it goes 100 miles per hour. And for me, overstimulating. And I tried to tell him, hey, you're kind of overstimulating me. Can you not do that? And when people do overstimulate me a lot, and I'm very respectful, I'm like, yo, I can't, hey, slow down. But when I told my father that, he was, he just kind of like joked it off. And I'm like, it's not funny. I have a mental disorder. Like, kind of accept that. And like, when I say that generation shuts it down, like, my father was born in the 50s. Now, my mom, she knows what I go through. She knows what conditions I have. And she works around, not work, but she knows, and she tries not to trigger anything. My father is just like, whatever, like, it's all in your head. And what I read on the internet is like, you can't say that to somebody with anxiety. Because 99%, well, not 99, most of the time, because let me not yap off of the number, most of the time, it is through trauma. And me personally, I do have a lot of trauma. I was in an abusive relationship for 3 years and all that stuff. And, my father was just being weird, mentioning my ex and, going on about how I should date men my age. And I'm like, I don't date men my age because, truth be told, I was almost in handcuffs. And then he said, you should have walked away from the situation. Well, how could I walk away from the situation? The man was throwing me around the room and putting his hands on me. Let's start there. So yeah, I just kind of kept my distance. And then a birthday situation happened. I went to visit him for his birthday. I gave him a card, brought him a cake, all that stuff. And then turn around, my birthday is a month after his. And he just left me a Facebook comment. Now, you guys know I'm not really into gifts. I'm not like, oh my God, you didn't get me anything for my birthday. But the principle is that, I don't, a Facebook comment to me, like, this is my policy on wishing people happy birthday on social media. If I have your phone number and I know you in real life, I'm going to text you happy birthday. I'm going to call you and wish you a happy birthday. But if you like in my circle, like we like this, I'm going to text you. I'm going to reach out to you on my phone, but you're also going to get you're going to get a little post on Instagram or whatever, because I love you. But my father, he just left me a message on not a comment on Facebook, and that was that. And that, I was hurt. I was really hurt because, I didn't want him to get me anything for my birthday, but a phone call or a text would have been nice, but not on Facebook. Like, that was just not cool, and that really had hurt me. And then I know you guys are probably thinking, girl, why are you bashing your father? Like, when I go back to the peeping shit, like, stuff in my childhood, it was like, I understand now, and it kind of affects me, and I look back at it now, it's like, dang, why didn't he, defend me? Why didn't he stand up for me in that situation? But yeah, so I didn't really have a great Father's Day. I was really sad on Father's Day because, dang, you know what I mean? Like, my father didn't really protect, like, not protect, but like, he, in certain situations, he didn't do what he needed to do. Not only that, but then I realized something, like, I had a liver ultrasound back in February. I don't remember. It was really cold, so probably January, February, March. I went to go have my liver ultrasound. A lot of people reached out. A lot of people reached out. It was just an ultrasound, but the principle was a lot of people reached out. I didn't hear nothing from my father. No, is everything okay? All that stuff. Now I know you're asking, how would he know? My father is my friend on Facebook. I posted, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll remember this post. I posted, my ultrasound number 4, my liver ultrasound number 4. Do you know how much these bitches cost, even with insurance? I can answer that question for you. I went to a hospital in a network. When I was registering for it, they said, hey, you have to pay $435 prepay. So after we bill your insurance, most of it will be already paid, all that stuff. Luckily, I had the money on me, so I paid it, and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what the freak? Why the heck do I have to pay $400 and before they can even touch me? What? But then it made sense after I got the bill. The whole procedure was like $1,000, probably like, no, not $1,000, but like $800. No, it was probably $700 to $1,000, right? So I pay the $400, and then they bill me the rest of the bill. It was only $45. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah, like I didn't no reach out, no, oh my God, are you okay? Stuff like that. And it really hurt. And I know, like, thou shalt honor mother and father, and I do, but it's just like sometimes, and I sit and I think about it, and I just get so hurt about some of the things my father did not do. I don't know if he listens to my podcast. I don't know if he knows I don't know if, how do I say this? I don't know if he knows about this podcast. And I'm not, again, y'all, I'm not trying to bash my father. Love my father unconditionally, but it's just the circumstances. And I realize, like, damn, that's not right. Damn, that's not right. Damn, that's not right. I had friends whose parents split up. My parents split up before I was born, but I had friends whose parents split up when they were little, toddler, preteen, all that stuff, right? Their fathers lived across the street, around the corner, across the same town, whatever. They were like probably no longer than 20 minutes far. For me, my father always lived 45 minutes to an hour away. My father used to live in this neighborhood in Chicago called Galewood, and I always thought, okay, because I started putting 2 and 2 together as I got older, that Galewood's in Chicago. Chicago is about 25 minutes away from me. It's literally right there. So my ex-boyfriend, he lived on the west side. He lived about like 10 to 15 minutes away from where my dad used to live. And when I tell you, oh my God, I used to have to go to my ex's house, and I had to drive through rush hour, and I would get to his house at like 6, and it sucked because my ex had a job where you have to get up early, and you can't be up all night and all that stuff. So I wouldn't get to his house till 6. I would only spend like 2 hours with him, and then I had to go home because obviously you live on the west side. Like, you got to get the hell out. I was trying to get the hell out of the city before 8 o'clock because that's when the weird shit went down, and I didn't want no parts of it, okay? So, yeah, so Galewood was far, and I realized that when I started driving. When I was a kid and people were picking me up and taking me, it didn't seem like that. And then my father ended up moving away to where he is now when I was 8, and it's like 40 miles away. And I thought that was so hurtful. And, another thing, I don't want to get into the specifics about it, but my visitations used to get switched from weekends to overnights. And I look back at that now at 29 years old, and it it was really frustrating of how everything was. I mean, at the time, my parents, I guess, thought that was best for me and my brother, and then my brother aged out, and then later for me. But I look back at it now, it just didn't make no sense at all. Like, for Friday, like most of the time, I will go to my dad's house, and my mom will go out of town. She had a lot of out of town friends she would go visit, and she would drop us off at someone's house. It was either my aunt's or my grandmother's, and we would stay one night at said person's house, and then my dad would come and pick us up, and we would spend the night at the house. And every time it was about the same, y'all. Like, I get to the house. Well, my family at the time lived in the city, so my dad would pick us up. We have to drive an hour to where he lived from the south side. Okay, we get to the house. Okay, we settle in, we eat dinner, and then my dad sits on the couch and goes to sleep. So that kind of leaves me and my brother, or just me sometimes, to entertain ourselves. Now, it wasn't like I hear on TV, or sometimes I hear stories about how, oh, my dad went to sleep, or oh, my dad went somewhere and I had to like kind of do things by myself. We had TV and we had toys and video games, and sometimes my cousin would come over, all that stuff. But I look back at that now, and it was just like really, it made me really sad, because my dad never really spent a lot of quality time with me after work. He didn't really play, play dolls with me, like whatever. But I just look back at a lot of things that happened in my childhood with my dad. It just made me really, 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 really sad. And that's why I always pray, like, I hope my children don't have a dad like I had. Like, I know who my father is. I can call him. I can pick up the phone. I can call him anytime. But I want a more involved dad for my kids. I guess that's why I created a character. Like, if you read the Meridian, no, not Meridian. Ronaldo Townsend is in. What is Ronaldo in? See, I wrote so many books, I don't know. The Cherub Hempstead series. No. AJ Townsend. God, I can't even think today. I had too much sausage and eggs, I guess. But AJ Townsend. So Ronaldo Townsend is a single father to AJ Townsend. Oh, my computer's about to die. Hold on, y'all. So, yeah. Because I have this old ass laptop, and it will like die on you in 2 seconds. And I got there in the nick of time. Awesome. I just have to hold my laptop in my lap or whatever. But Ronaldo Townsend is a single father, right? Very involved in AJ's life, even though she's grown. Got full custody of AJ after the woman who raised her died. If you read it, if you know, you know. Like, I want my kids to have a father like that. And the crazy thing, I don't want to say good, but it's kind of crazy to me, is that my father, he would admit like he was a weekend parent, but I don't know if he would like admit if he could take it all back, if he could start over and like do better. You know what I mean? If you guys are wondering what I'm drinking, I made some green tea. I found some green tea packages in one of the junk drawers. So Midwest, I know. But I found some green tea packages. I put it in some water in a glass pitcher. Let it sit for a couple hours. It will kind of like spread. Put some agave, stevia in the raw. If you know, you know. And put a little stevia in the raw sugar. Diabetics, if you know, you know. And yeah, that's green tea. It's really good. I'm so proud of myself with that. But I go on this small rant to say about my father. I love my father to death. I should honor thy mother, thy father. I live by that to the day I die. But it's just, that's what I was just thinking about on this past Father's Day. That's why my my messages on Instagram, like I celebrate fathers who are deserving to be celebrated, where I would see people with their fathers with, you know, pictures and stuff, and it just made me like really, 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 really sad. Will me and my father ever sit down and talk about it? I don't think so. Because it's a lot, and it's like the way I handled this rant, it will be all over the place. It will probably be some, oh, I didn't do that, I didn't say that, when good and well, you did do that, you did say that. So I'll just say this to say this. I was very sad on Father's Day, but I did send a text, so I didn't completely ignore the day, you know. But yeah, we gotta get into but one more thing before we get into the news. This is some good tea. I'm doing a new thing with the reviews. So if you guys know, I did Mandy's quick reviews on YouTube. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the reviews through the podcast way. Like, of course, the podcast is called Thompson and Stuff. So I think the review should be the stuff, right? So I'm going to record the reviews through the Riverside. They're not going to be quick. They're going to be very detailed, because I hate it when I would do Mandy's quick reviews. I would write out everything, and then I felt like when I was recording it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, 5 stars. Will I recommend? Yes. The end. I don't want to do any more quick reviews because it seems so rushed. So I've decided I'm going to record. It will be released with the podcast. My first episode of my reviews I'm going to record it tonight. I'm going to review the latest season of The Chi, which did finish yesterday. Well, it will finish. Well, if you have the app, I guess it still airs on regular TV show time. It'll air tomorrow, but if you have the app, it'll show. It'll come on Friday. So if you watched it Friday, you finished the whole thing. So I watched it on Friday. I finished it. So I'm going to review it on. It's going to be a bonus episode. So, like, for example, if you listen to. Oh, shoot, the thing came out. So if you like, what was I saying? Sorry, I messed up. So if you like listen to Thompson's or Mandy's quick reviews, it's 5 minutes. It's gonna be more. It's gonna be broken down. It's gonna have more thoughts to it. I broke it down like a KWL chart, like back in school. So that really helped me like write down more stuff for the review. I think it's gonna be a good one, and I think you guys are really, really gonna like it. So I really do hope y'all like it, because I had to literally watch it and take notes, and I don't like doing 2 things at once. So truthfully, honestly, I hope you enjoy it. Let's see. There was something up here I wrote down. I can't even read my own handwriting sometimes. I can't believe this. Black jobs. Y'all know I'm not really into politics, but I can't believe it. I didn't even watch the debate. I fell asleep. Like, same thing with the concert, the Kendrick Lamar concert. I fell asleep, and I had to like scramble to find the encore presentation like that weekend. Shame on me. I know. But let's get into some news. I got a long list here, and we're probably gonna be here an hour. And if my father is listening, I love you, but we gotta do better. That's how I'm gonna end it. I love you, but we gotta do better, and we gotta sort some stuff out. And I'm not gonna go on a public platform and say what that stuff is, because it's deep and traumatizing. And one thing happened, and my mom thinks, it has a psychological effect on me. I cannot confirm or deny it, and nor do I want to elaborate. But I want to start off with CDK being shut down. So if you work in the car industry, CDK is like this big program where people track sales of their vehicles. They track like ROs, repair orders for their service department, payroll, all that stuff. So what happened was a cyber hacking group from Europe decided to hack the program, which is in charge of day-to-day functions of 15,000 car dealerships in the United States. So basically, then people got all that information. They could do whatever they want with it, I guess. No, they held it for ransom and they demanded them to be paid millions. I don't know how they're gonna pay them millions. I ain't pocket watching or nothing, but I also read somewhere that they're slowly getting the payments. But I'm like, where do you get the money from, to pay them? Unfortunately, because this has been going on for about almost 2 weeks, people have had no production, no type of day-to-day function. I've been on TikTok and I see dealerships that just is not doing anything. They're just going to work, sitting on the clock, just doing nothing because they can't do anything, The latest I also heard is that there's a small batch of dealerships. They're kind of the guinea pig of testing to get everything back up and running. And in my opinion, if things are going well for that guinea pig of dealerships, then everything should be going back up probably Monday morning when everybody come in. A lot of dealerships don't open on Sunday, or they do open on Sunday, and it's just sales service is not open on Sunday. So we'll see what Monday morning brings. This is also a teaching lesson. This is also, a teaching lesson to people who are not in the car industry. This is my first go round with a dealership that uses CDK, so I've been kind of affected by it. But the dealerships I worked at before, they didn't use CDK, they used DealerTrack, and I have experience in that. But this also goes to, I hope, show you guys that are not in the industry that you have to be prepared no matter what happens. For me, I've never experienced an outage like this, but I've had to be prepared for people to call my phone at 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't go in until 11. Hey, we're having a meeting. You need to come in early. Got to be prepared for that. Or it's something small like, hey, the power went out. Got to be prepared for that. So what the dealerships are doing is they're doing everything via pen and paper. I've had to do things via pen and paper because sometimes the time clock didn't work, or the time clock something's wrong with it, and you had to keep up with your own clock in, clock out times. It's like you've always got to be on your P's and Q's in this industry, and you got to always adapt to change. Like me, I've been in the industry 3 years. By my second year, I had worked at 4 dealerships because one, I had my manager cut me down from 40 hours on a check. No, 40 hours a week, 80 on a check, to 15 hours a week, 30 on a check. So I had to do what I had to do to make sure my bills got paid. And it happened twice, actually. So crazy. So you always got to be on your P's and Q's in this industry. But hopefully they figure things out with this ransom and they, get it back together, because people, crazy enough, with the high interest rates, people are still buying cars. They need a car, or they're paying cash for it, whatever, So, yeah, hackers, right? They suck sometimes. Speaking of when I was talking about the Kendrick Lamar, I was speaking about the Kendrick Lamar concert. So for Juneteenth, Kendrick Lamar had this pop-out concert. There was a lot of West Coast acts, and people were probably thinking, did I watch it? I know Amanda fell asleep. I kind of knew about the concert, but I fell asleep and I missed it. When I woke up the next day, I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see Russell Westbrook on the stage, crip walking, and Kendrick Lamar and all that stuff performing They're Not Like Us 5 times in a row. And let me just say this. Kendrick Lamar basically, that gospel song, Yes, Lord, for the rest. And then how they stop and then they say, yes, all that stuff. That's what Kendrick Lamar did. It was I just immediately thought about that when he did that. But I had to scramble to watch the encore presentation Thank God people have enough sense to kind of screen record and post the whole thing on YouTube. It was on Amazon Music. I don't have Amazon Music at the moment. And when I was paying for Amazon, I really didn't use Amazon Music. That's neither here nor there. But I saw it and I truly enjoyed it. Now, when DJ Head came out, I wasn't too familiar with his artists and stuff. So because I watched it on YouTube, and I will admit I did cheat, I scrolled through the like when you go on YouTube and you watch YouTube on your phone, you can tap on the screen and it'll go like 10 seconds. So whoever I wasn't familiar with, I just kept scrolling until we got to DJ Mustard. Now, DJ Mustard, I am more familiar with, and his artist. YG came out. I love YG. Like, I've been fucking with YG since I was in college. Like, I remember I went to Best Buy. I was probably like 20. My Crazy Life came out in like 2015. So I was 20. And I remember my mom taking me to Best Buy to buy the CD. Now, I know I got some 18 to 25-year-old listeners. Yes, you used to have, you could buy CDs at Best Buy, and then they took it away. And I don't know what they put there now, probably some more freaky gadgets or whatever. But Best Buy used to sell physical CDs and DVDs, and I bought My Crazy Life there. It was probably like $18.99 or $25. I don't remember, because when I got older, CDs got really expensive, and they were cheaper at Walmart, but you had to buy the edited version, and I hate edited versions of music. I remember going up to the cashier. He was probably a kid my age, probably a couple years older. I was 20 at the time. And he said, what you know about YG? I'm like, bro, I know much more probably than you. But yeah, I remember. And then I would buy all the other CDs, and then I finally caved in and got Apple Music. And, you know, I've been rocking with YG since. Roddy Ricch was there. Who else was there? A lot. And then I waited for Kendrick Lamar to come out. And I really enjoyed Kendrick Lamar's set. Like, some of the music brought me back to high school. Like, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. That was my senior year of high school. He brought out Dr. Dre. I love that. You know, I'm a big Dr. Dre Productions fan. That was awesome that, you know, he got introduced and all that stuff. It was a nice concert. Somebody did ask me after I had the opportunity to finish watching it, should DJ Quick could have been there? Yes, he should. Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, all the OGs should have been there. But I know for a fact, Ice Cube is dealing with the big three. DJ Quick, Snoop Dogg, Warren G, the Dog Pound, they were on tour in Canada. I think the tour is over, but that's where they were. But it would have been nice if the OGs were there. But either way, it was a really nice concert, something for Juneteenth, because honestly, Kendrick Lamar's music does give Juneteenth vibes. I did enjoy it. The concert was like 4 hours long. So imagine watching that live. Like, it would probably have been like you're there for real, you know. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar for doing that. And you know, it's still on YouTube somewhere. And you can find it anywhere you want, I guess. Versus. You guys miss Versus? I miss Versus. So Versus is coming back. It inked a new deal with X, or Twitter as we call it. Is this a good move? Yes and no. No, because we all know how Twitter moves ever since Elon Musk bought it. We all know what we see. We all know what be going on there. But it is free for now, unless you pay it for X Premium. So, I hope it works. I don't want it to be like the original format, like when COVID first started and they were going on Instagram Live. I don't think they should do that. I think it's going to be a big production, as much money as X is worth, even after Elon Musk bought it. But then we got to remember there's the racists on X that be Trump supporting, calling black people the N-word and all that stuff. So I just hope that kind of doesn't spill over to that part of Twitter. That I think Versus will be for Black Twitter. Like, this is for us. You can't come in. Well, I don't want to say you can't come in, but it's for us. And I know Timberlake and Swiss, they're gonna make a bag because it's easy access. Like, I kind of forgot that Twitter has go live features. I never used it. I've never been live anywhere except Ustream, and that was years ago. Ustream is kind of dead now, so we'll see how this works out. And if it don't make money, then can't they like terminate the contract? I don't know. I don't know. Will Smith has a new song. I've only listened to it once. It's not the typical Will Smith song music we know. It is more of a like inspirational, spiritual side. It's really nice, but hearing that, I'm expecting more music from Will Smith. And if it's not too much to ask, I would like some more upbeat music from Will Smith. Kind of in the style of Miami, like Welcome to Miami and Benito Miami. That type of style. So I bet money he's back in the studio. Of course, he's been filming movies back to back to back to back. And there's so many movies you could film. So Will, like, bro, what you doing? Like, get in the studio. Like, come on. And I like Will Smith, even though like people know I love like the hardest and heaviest of dirty rap music. I love Will Smith. I grew up with Will Smith, so fingers crossed. And then I'm sorry, I want to go back to the concert, The Game. He was going in on why he wasn't there. I just have this one thing that's like 2 points about The Game. I love The Game. I had a big crush on The Game when I was a teenager. Like, his body, his face had my teenage hormones in a full Nelson. Okay? But Game, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, as the kids would say, but you do too much and you talk too much. Those two things right there. Take a sip of my tea. You do too much and you talk too much. And my example, and the reason why I feel this way, is remember when Nipsey Hussle got killed? And this was like hours, after probably an hour or 2 or 3 after they pronounced him dead. The Game, who lives in Calabasas, and we all know the reputation of Calabasas, drives all the way down to South Central, I think that's where the store was, LA, crying and just speeding down there. Now, I understand, his feelings are very valid. You knew Nipsey, you love Nipsey, all that stuff, but why would you jump in your car and drive all the way down to this crime scene? And that's what I say. He did too much and he talked too much, in my opinion. But we love him. Legend. Did the documentary too. I enjoyed, but did too much, talked too much. That's all I got to say. Congratulations to Nelly and Ashanti. So we all know that they are having a baby. I think I want her to have a girl. I really do, but I know that's not up to me. But they would be. The baby would be just such a pretty girl. Like, I want her to have a girl. But they've been married for 6 months. They got married in St. Louis. That's what I'm talking about, keeping a relationship private. I love that. I love that. I'm learning how to keep me and my boo quiet. And it is very peaceful, honestly. It's very, very peaceful. No one's judging you. Even though I'm not being judged because no one knows a lot about my boo, but I know they're being judged because, people just don't know enough information. But if they were not Ashanti and Nelly, the rap star and the singer, and they were just normal people who lived across the street, I know if they kept their relationship private, it would have been peaceful for them. But they got married 6 months ago. So they probably got married right around the time they found out she was pregnant. Who knows? But I just love it for them. They seem happier. And then like when they were first together, they kept everything private and they just was like acting dumb and all that stuff. Like this is really nice and it's really, 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 really refreshing to see. And I'm proud. I'm happy for them. I'm proud of them. Hope they stay together forever this time. And y'all stop attacking Miss Jackson. Like she seems like a really nice lady. Like leave her alone. She's probably got a man and she ain't telling y'all. Did you ever stop and think about that? So leave her alone too. So congratulations, Nelly and Ashanti. Congratulations. Next. Fisker. Do you guys remember Fisker? The Fisker cars that looked like a dog's head that's been stung by a bee. It was an electric car. Everybody had one. I remember watching Shahs of Sunset and Mike from Shahs of Sunset had one. It was kind of like the douchebag car back in like 2013. So I didn't know Fisker was still around until I saw a Fisker store. I think I was in Atlanta or Cabo. I was somewhere. And I saw a Fisker store and I was just so shocked. Y'all, they still make it? Damn. Unfortunately, they are filing for bankruptcy. Not surprising because Fisker, so it's 2013, right? Fisker was in, right? Then Tesla kind of rolled in and took over everything, and Tesla's had a longer run than Fisker. So that's what kind of killed her. Sorry, Fisker. So they are filing for bankruptcy. I think they should just fold. I mean, car brands fold all the time. Like, come on, y'all know what happened to Pontiac, right? Y'all know what happened to Saab. Like, come on, let it go. So, yeah. I got a little juice in my laptop. I don't know how to put this. My leg, like with the diabetes and stuff, like my joints sometimes be out of whack. I wake up with swollen feet sometimes, and holding this laptop, oh my god, and it's heavy. It's an older laptop, so oh my god. All right, here we go. I guess if my notebook fall, whatever. Next on the docket, Justin Timberlake was arrested for DUI. And when I say this with love. I love my people, but stop texting me and telling me my boy is tripping. Yes, I'm a Justin Timberlake fan. I know he got arrested. I've seen his mugshot. I posted it on my Instagram. I know. He was arrested. He blew a light. He was driving in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, I guess. First of all, my question is, if he's on tour and he was like in Sag Harbor, why is he driving his own personal cars? Is he like getting his own personal cars shipped to wherever he goes? Because that's kind of expensive. That doesn't make any sense to me, in my opinion. Yeah, he got arrested, blew a light, got pulled over. Articles said that he reeked of booze and he had all these pills in his system, blah, blah, blah. My thing is, yeah, he got arrested for DUI, blah, 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 blah. The bartender, now, where the heck did you find the bartender? And the bartender kind of defended him and was like, oh, he only had one drink. Now, I've been drinking a long time. I've been drinking even before the legal age. One drink. Say you got a big glass, right? And you fill that glass a quarter of Hennessy. And then you get, Sky Vodka. You put that in there. And then you put some Johnny Walker in there. Like, was it the big glass? Was it the big glass? Like, for him to get arrested or, yeah, like pulled over and arrested for DUI and all that stuff. I didn't really follow the story because when my favorite celebrities get arrested for DUI, I kind of get annoyed. Like, bro, really? You could have, like, ordered an Uber or you could have passed the keys to somebody or, you know. The whole situation was just reckless and stupid on my end. So, in my opinion, that's why I don't have too much to say about it. It's just stupid, reckless, and also where the hell did y'all find the bartender? And why would the bartender want to talk to the media? For the life of me, I don't know. But he went on with the tour. He said, this is going to ruin the tour. The tour is moving fine. Like, I think a few days after that, he was in Chicago. And I wanted to go to that show, but I didn't have money to get tickets. But he was there, and he said, you know, this week's been tough. And then he went on to Where did he go? I think he's in Boston. No, he went to New York. No, he went to New York, then Chicago, and then he's in Boston right now. So the tour, I guess, is all right. But he still got to go to court and kind of wrap all that up. So poor JT, but, you know, make better decisions next time. Why don't you? Scooter Braun retires from being a manager. Now, he's not going to retire and go kick his feet up somewhere. He's going to go be a businessman. And I'm not surprised because I've seen Scooter Braun's house. Yeah, that's more than manager money because, you know, some celebrities don't even want to pay their managers and agents. So, not mad at it. Good luck to you, Scooter. And I hope you get everything settled with Taylor Swift. That's all I'm going to say. Because I'm not really familiar with Scooter Braun. I'm familiar with him like being Justin Bieber's manager. But the thing is, Justin Bieber got older, and I just don't really follow him as much. So, it is what it is. Hey, I found an extension cord. Let me see if... fudge. It doesn't have, like, the two-prong thing. I need a two-prong thing. Fudge. TGIF. Does anybody out here still watch TGIF? With Claudia Jordan, Armand, and Al Reynolds? This really fascinated me. I used to watch TGIF when Funky Dineva was on there, and I like Funky Dineva. Like, he makes me laugh. I could walk around and say some Funky Dineva taglines. Like, that's how of a fan I am of Funky. And he left the show. We all know he left the show due to money issues. I'm not sure why, or what type of money issues, but it was money issues. So then Armand comes in, and that I kind of stopped watching after that. I don't know who Armand is or whatever. So the story is that it was Al Reynolds' birthday, and I guess they do this thing called the birthday roast. I don't think they did it with Funky was on the show, but they're doing it now, Armand. So Claudia does her diss or roast or whatever, and then it was Armand's turn, and Armand went in on Al Reynolds. So, you know, Al Reynolds, I don't know a lot about Al Reynolds. I just know that he was married to Star Jones for some time. He's a very, very upstanding, classy man. And, you know, he in camera said, "I love it. Thank you." You know, he accepted it. But then I guess in real life, he didn't accept it. And he was mad enough to pick up the phone and call Funky Dineva. So I like to watch Funky Dineva when he does his lives Monday through Thursday. He doesn't do Fridays. So Funky Dineva was on live, you know, doing his thing, talking to us. And he got a call from Al. Al was heated. And that's when we later found out that he just didn't agree with the whole situation. TGIF is not on air right now. They claim they're on a vacation, but I think that after Funky left the show, the show just plummeted. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but Funky Dineva kind of carried that show. And now I'm proud of Funky Dineva because he went back to his original platform, which is YouTube. And we all got to remember now, YouTube pays some money. I don't want to say a lot because I watch some of these YouTubers and they walking around with jewelry that's so shiny, all that stuff. Like, I just follow Corey SSG. Now, I like to watch the car guys because, you know, obviously I've been in the car industry. So I like to watch the car guys, CJ on 32s, all that stuff. Let's see what type of jewelry they got, whatever. So, you know, you make some coin on YouTube. Where was I going with this? See, I was pocket watching. Shame on me. But yeah, Funky Dineva, he's doing well apparently, and I don't think they're doing well at TGIF. And then like it sucks because if they take off TGIF, well, what's left? Because there's no good shows on TGIF. If you follow them on YouTube, they play a lot of like infomercial-esque type stuff that nobody really cares about. You know what I mean? They gave T.S. Madison a show on there. That kind of went off the air, and then she had I guess because she had a reality show on WeTV, and then that kind of disappeared. But yeah, I guess it was a transition. So we'll see what happens with Fox Soul. Maybe they'll, develop some more Black entertainment. And I think Fox Soul was great for Black people because, a lot of people don't have cable. And, when it comes to networks, some people are big to rush. Back in the day, I should say, before all the streaming stuff, people were rushing to get a cable channel. Like the Griot. No, you could get the Griot locally. It's Aspire. Aspire is a Black-owned cable channel and all that stuff, but nobody really has cable. But I see Aspire on Philo, and Philo's only like $30 a month. Like, I want my Philo back, honestly. Hopefully soon I'll get it back, because Love and Hip Hop comes back on the 23rd, and that's my guilty pleasure. I don't watch it all the time, but it's my guilty pleasure. So yeah, it's on a break, and we'll see what happens, if it comes back or not. Charles Barkley's retiring from TV. I think it's time for him to retire in general, because I think, I could be wrong, it could have had some years gap between, but Charles Barkley went from the NBA to TV, and he worked in TV probably for 20 years, and he was in the NBA for like probably 15 or 20 years. So it's time for Charles Barkley to sit down. I'm going to miss Shaq dissing him and talking about him in his face, but it's really time for Sir Charles to sit down and enjoy retirement. I think the show is filmed in Atlanta. I think in reality he lives in Arizona. So Arizona is like retirement central for old people. So good luck to you, Sir Charles. And he said in 2025, I think. So he has one more NBA season to do. That's it. He'll be retired. Congratulations. Retirement is always good, but then you get bored and you want to go bother people. Trust me, I know. I know for sure. Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore is officially fired from Bravo. I don't have a lot to say about this because it involves something serious as revenge porn, and revenge porn is very serious. I live in the state of Illinois. Here in Illinois, I know separate from Georgia, but still, this is how heavy it is. Here in Illinois, oh, my computer's gonna die again. Crap. Hold on. Alright. Oh, I'm knocking that down. I'm hearing a bunch of noise. Alright. Got it. Alright. So, let me move this over so I can talk to y'all. Alright. So, in Illinois, revenge porn, which basically, again, is when you, so say Josie and Kareem, generic names, I know. Josie and Kareem are in a relationship, they're happy, then, they've been together a few years, they do some sexual stuff. Josie could go to work and take her clothes off, send it to Kareem, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Josie and Kareem later breaks up. Kareem sells, posts, whatever, the nudes that Josie been sending him during the length of their relationship. In Illinois, that is very illegal. So Kareem could go to jail and Josie could sue, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how the law is in Georgia. It's probably similar. I don't know. But Kenya was at an event. They were filming the new season. She had photos of it was a new cast member too. I don't know her name, but she had photos of the new cast member, in a position, and Kenya got in trouble for it. My thoughts on Kenya is I'm not trying to be a hater or nothing. Kenya Moore is a beautiful woman, but most beautiful women do have ugly souls. And for me, watching Kenya on Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's not, she just rubbing me the wrong way. She's been mean to Portia, getting into childish arguments with Portia. I didn't understand that. Just talking about people, if you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and I'm not a fan, and she's a bully. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Kenya Moore. I'm sorry. And then you talked about Sheree's house. Like, I know it's all fun and games and for the ratings, but for me, I look back at it now, it's like you're tearing down this woman who works hard, has had some hiccups building this beautiful home, and she has her beautiful home, and you're exposing the fact that her mother, the home could possibly be in her mother's name. Like, sometimes I just don't understand. Um, I don't understand reality TV sometimes. I'm not in that field. Some things are for shits and giggles, and some things are for ratings, and some things are serious. And I hate that that is what reality TV is now. So, Kenya Moore, she claimed that she's going to take a legal route. I don't know why. I'm just not a fan. So I'm kind of nervous but excited to see the direction that Real Housewives of Atlanta is going. Of course, we know that Candy left after 14 years, so it's going to have a different vibe. I think it's going to have a different vibe. It's going to have a different vibe. And I had to get some more tea, and I finished my tea, and I had to use the bathroom, and then my brother FaceTimed me. It was a whole lot going on. So, and I am halfway through my list. So where am I? Ben Affleck. So it's been revealed that Ben Affleck is living in a separate house from Jennifer Lopez. Her tour got canceled. Not surprising because, of course, there was one night I was, laying down in bed, scrolling through my TikTok, and I've seen about 30 videos in one sitting about Jennifer Lopez being mean to people. I have a feeling that has something to do with it. Like, don't nobody want to see Jennifer Lopez. I've never even heard of Jennifer Lopez having a meet and greet. Because nobody wants to meet Jennifer Lopez. Like, she just seemed like she mean. Mean as hell, honestly. So, let's see. The house. Their house was on a realtor site. So when I saw the pictures, if you guys are an avid, like, Zillow and Redfin user like I am, and I can't even afford to buy a house or whatever, when someone, not you, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, you'll buy a house one day, you, whoever's listening, but when someone buys a house, right, sometimes the people or the real estate agent who switches the Zillow or Redfin status over to sold, the pictures stay up. So when I saw that the picture of Jennifer Lopez's house, it was under the sold thing. So I guess they switched it over. So I guess it's now up for sale for real this time. And I read on the Daily Mail that they didn't like the house. And I look at the house too, and it's like, it's kind of gaudy. They said it's too big, and then Ben Affleck said that it was too far from his kids. So the house is in like Beverly Hills, and now Ben lives in a house in Brentwood. And I've been to LA recently, and going down, I think Brentwood is on Sunset Boulevard, but on the other side, more west of LA. That's a ride. That's like gotta be at least a 35-minute drive. And LA is known for their traffic too. So I could completely understand that they don't like the house. And like, I hear that it has like 20 something bathrooms, like probably no less than 30 bathrooms. Like, who needs that much shitas? Like, you got one butt. You don't need 30 something bathrooms. Come on. That's just showing off your wealth for real. But I have another theory that Ben Affleck probably moved into a sober setup house if I could say that. We all know he has a drinking problem or had a drinking problem. Probably relapse. I don't know. I don't want to say for sure, but probably moved in for that sake. I don't know. But he does go back to the house that they bought, the big gaudy house. I saw that he was cussing out paparazzi. So maybe that could be a thing. I don't know. But that was just my theory. I don't think I wouldn't be surprised if it's Jennifer Lopez and she really can't keep a man. But, the thing I like about what celebrities do is they kind of answer on their own time. So we'll kind of see what the next story is tomorrow. Jennifer Lopez. They said that Ben Affleck was moving out of the house, and I saw on Daily Mail that he was holding a duffel bag. That man probably needed some stuff from the house to go to the sober house or whatever. I don't know, but that's just my theory. My theory. What else? I don't want to really talk about Camille Wimbush doing OnlyFans because it's just obvious. If you know TV, then you know that the more a show is ran on TV, like regular cable or regular broadcast TV, the less the what's it called, the residuals are. So, and a lot of people just still do watch Bernie Mac. And she had to do OnlyFans. I don't remember her being in anything else besides the Bernie Mac show. So, of course, if she hasn't done anything else besides the Bernie Mac show, I don't know her exact catalog, so don't come at me. But she probably had a regular job, and she has bills like the rest of us, so she got to make money. And, get it how you get it, Miss Wimbush. I ain't mad at you. I respect anybody who do OnlyFans, because, like me, I don't like nudity. I don't like how do I say this? I'm not comfortable in my own body. Sometimes I don't like being nude. Nudity is just not my thing. So, anybody who does OnlyFans is a brave, brave soldier to me. Like, for real. So, I'm not going to really get into that. If she got bills, she got to pay her bills. That's all. Rest in peace to Jerry West. If you guys don't know who Jerry West is, he is a retired basketball player who used to play for the Lakers back in the day. But if it wasn't for Jerry West, when you look at the NBA logo, he is the NBA logo. They incorporated that probably in the 80s, 70s, 80s, way, way back in the day before I was born. So he is responsible for that. I think, who played Jerry West on that Lakers show? He was played by that one guy. But he was very instrumental in the Lakers' success back in the 80s and 90s. So rest in peace to him. Willie Mays, legend in baseball. He played in both the MLB and the Negro League. He passed away. He was in his 90s. Bill Cobbs. You guys don't know who that is. If you guys are like Greenleaf fans like I am, because he's done a lot of stuff, and I've seen him in so many movies, but the only role that like I can remember off the top of my head is when he played Henry McCready. He was Mac and Lady May's father in Greenleaf. But he played like Hella Rose. Very talented actor. He was in New Jack City. So he came in after This Shit Is Bigger Than Nino Brown, basically. I think after that part. I have not seen New Jack City in a long time. So if I'm like butchering it, if this is your favorite movie and I'm like low-key butchering it, forgive me. I haven't like seen that movie in forever. Jamie Kellner, if you guys don't know who that is, he founded Fox NWB. And if you're a 90s baby just like me, that is your childhood right there. Fox started in the 80s, so probably 1989. Had original programming like the Tracy Ullman Show and The Simpsons. Tracy Ullman is not on TV anymore, but The Simpsons obviously is, because they just been... Well, not just. They have been renewed for up to like season 40 or something. And I'm binge watching The Simpsons on Disney Plus. I'm on season 12. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up, so when I got older, I kind of got into like the later seasons.
But the earlier seasons are the best seasons, in my opinion. So I understand what people be arguing about. No, season 1 through 14. I'm on 12, so I don't know about 14. Those were the best seasons. So rest in peace, Jimmy Kimmel. And then the WB. I mean, all those black sitcoms. Oh my God, my childhood. The Wayans Brothers. I think Parenthood was on there. Girlfriends. All that stuff. Shifty Shell Shock. If you guys remember, come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby, come my lady, you're my crazy baby, I'll make your legs shake, you make me go crazy. Butterfly by Crazy Town. He was the lead singer. He passed away. He was 49. I can't believe, like, there's this one kid's movie that they sing that song on, and I look at it, I'm like, that's not a child appropriate song. And I hope, like, he got some sort of residual from that. I think it was Sing with Buster Moon. I think. But, yeah, he passed away of a drug overdose. I remember that song growing up, too. It's so sad. Like, a lot of the singers I grew up listening to are getting old or dying off. And it's really scary. We also just had the Michael Jackson death anniversary. Michael Jackson been gone 15 years, y'all. I can't believe that. And I remember where I was. I had just graduated 8th grade, right? And my 8th grade graduation was in 2009. So during that time, technology was not what it was, like what we have now, where you could pull out your iPhone and you just tap on the TMZ app. Like, no, I had a brick Nokia and I had to go in my phone. I didn't have to pay for internet, which was crazy. Like, I think that era of when you press the internet and you have to pay to use it, that era was done. So I had to go on my phone, type in TMZ, and there it was. But no. For the average person. So I was at the mall, right? I don't know why I was at the mall, but the Macy's in my hometown have fitting rooms, and in the fitting rooms they had these like little itty bitty TVs. And it was on CNN, and it said Michael Jackson rushed to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. I get in the car, and our local radio VJs just announced tearfully that Michael Jackson had passed away. Now, where I live here in Chicago is a big deal because the Jacksons are from Gary. Where I'm from, Gary is about 20 to 30 minutes away, so they were our neighbors in a way. So, yeah, like, Chicago loved Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson meant everything to Chicago. So, but I can't believe it's been 15 years. Like, damn. Wow, it's been 15 years since Michael Jackson, and it's 27 years since Biggie died, 28 years since Tupac died, 27 years since Frank Sinatra died. That's a lot of people going. That's insane. But rest in peace, Shifty Shell Shock. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. Also, rest in peace to Martin Mull. He played the principal in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and he was in Roseanne. So that's the only 2 roles I know him from. But rest in peace. He passed away today, I think, and he was 80. Sexy Red. Sexy Red was fighting in the Newark airport. And is she on the do not fly list? I don't know for sure, but honestly, I am not a fan of Sexy Red. I'm not trying to tear down another woman, because Lord knows that's not what I'm trying to do. But I just don't like the image that she's portraying to our generation. But the thing is, when I look at her and I see her on Instagram without all the extra stuff, she's a really beautiful woman. But I'm not a fan of what she contributes to society. Now, I love rap music, don't get me wrong. But sometimes things are just too explicit. And, I mean, adults my age, yes, we can sing that song, but we know when and where to sing that song. Unfortunately, adults my age do have children who have the ear that catches everything. Now you have your children singing this, my vag is pink and my booty hole is brown and all that stuff. So, her fighting in the airport, it just doesn't make it look any better for her image. I will give Sexy Red a chance if she does something charitable. You know, I would respect her a lot more if she's probably written a big $1 million check to some charity. I want to see that from Sexy Red. I don't want to see this foolishness from her, honestly. But she was fighting at Newark Airport. It was on camera. It came out. Come on now, Sexy Red. You gotta do better. Crystal Hefner sends a cease and desist to Holly Madison. I look at this situation now and I'm tired of it. Crystal is Hef's ex-wife. Holly is Hef's ex-girlfriend. She talks about her a lot on the podcast. I listened to the podcast. It's just like, it's kind of getting tiring to me, but I completely understand because Crystal wrote about Holly in her book. Just the back and forth, it just exhausts me, kind of. So she sent a cease and desist to Holly. I don't know, like, it's really annoying. Like, Huff's been gone for like 7 years now. Like, can y'all talk about what y'all got going on with y'all lives now and not Playboy? Kind of. Even though Crystal can't, because she's vice president of some sort of Playboy organization, and she's been that position since he passed away. But either or, I'm just tired of them going back and forth. Billy Ray Cyrus is getting an annulment on his marriage. He claims it was fraud. I think I'm not surprised because the timing of it. When he got engaged to the second wife, he had just freshly got divorced from the first wife. So to me, it just seemed like he just jumped into something else. And when you jump into something else relationship-wise, it's like, it's not going to work. So I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. Let's see what else is going on. Julie Chrisley, her sentencing, and if I seem weird or I seem exhausted, I'm actually on the floor, laying next to my computer on my stomach. So if I feel like I'm getting tired or whatever, it's because I'm in a weird position. Julie Chrisley, she's getting resentenced basically, and good for her in a way because I think that her sentencing was a little too harsh. I also think that Julie Chrisley was guilty by association, and the judge just threw the book at her because she was married to Todd, who possibly did less than what they say they did. I don't know what exactly happened, but for me, it's just that because Julie was the spouse, she got what she, was sentenced to the first time. But probably she'll be resentenced, so she'll probably be home by the end of this year or early next year. Congratulations to Bronny James, who is the son of LeBron James. He was drafted by the Lakers. Now, this is a good thing because LeBron James and Bronny James are the first father and son duo to play in the NBA together ever. Now, that is a great accomplishment. Don't get me wrong. That is awesome. My question is, when the heck is LeBron James retiring? I mean, he got drafted in the NBA. He was 18 years old, fresh out of high school, right? I'm 30. I'm almost 30. LeBron James got drafted in 2003. I was 8. So it's been 22 years. And when you play sports like that, it doesn't matter if it's football or basketball, it will wear on your body. And I remember LeBron James having some injuries. I don't really follow basketball like that, but I remember he had some injuries and bounced back and came back. And it's not like he won't make no money when he retires. Like, LeBron James got shoes. I think he has a production company because he did Survivor's Remorse, and then he did Space Jam. So he probably gets residuals from that. Like, he has stuff going on outside of basketball. So LeBron is, like, everybody else is retired. I think, let me see, my phone is sitting right next to me. Look at that. Chris Paul was drafted in 2005. Chris Paul, American point guard. Oh, he still playing. He plays for the Golden State Warriors. Then what year was he drafted? He was drafted in 2005. Okay, so 2005 was 17 years ago? Yeah, he was so, okay. Who the heck was playing in 2005? Let's see. I got my phone. Class of 2003 NBA draft. Okay. There's a picture of it, and they all dressed in them Steve Harvey suits too. Let's see. All right, so Carmelo Anthony is retired. Chris Bosh had to retire. Dwayne Wade is retired. Kirk Heinrich is retired. I can't really see it. LeBron is still there. I think that's Michael Williams. He had to retire. Let's just say a majority of these people are retired. And LeBron is still going. I mean, that's good, but still just, I don't know. LeBron is a grown man at the end of the day. And if he got the energy to do it, do it. But, and then this season, this coming season, because I think the NBA season's over. Yeah, it is. Him and his son are going to be playing together. I think that's awesome. And it's a black, father and son. So that makes it better. People are probably going to start putting that on t-shirts. I wouldn't be surprised. And I could go to, the flea market and I could see that be done. It's awesome. It's nice. Tory Lanez wife files for divorce, and we obviously know why. So Tory Lanez got 10 years in prison, right? If you had a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whoever, go to jail, it's not the easiest. Trust me, I've had to live it for a year. You get lonely, and then with your partner being gone, you get temptation, and sometimes people do feed into that temptation. With Tory Lanez's wife, I think it probably hit her okay, he's going to be gone 10 years. I can't do it. I have to put myself first, and I think that's what it is. I don't think, it hasn't been ugly. I haven't heard anything ugly between them, so I guess they're going to, well, of course, can't nothing be ugly because the man's in jail, but they're going to I think they're going to have this as quiet as possible, so, yeah, sorry about that. The Upshaws is ending. I love The Upshaws. Why are they ending? But then again, it's all TV shows have an ending to their story, and you can't be on forever, especially with streaming. A lot of people don't even like the show because, it represents struggle of blah, blah, blah. I don't know how it will end. It's a really great show. It's funny. So, I don't know. Speaking of TV shows, is anybody watching Clipped? It's about the NBA owner, Donald Sterling. If you guys remember back in 2014, Donald Sterling, who owns the LA Clippers, was recorded by his little side chick about not wanting black people at the games or whatever. And it was just this big deal, and he got banned from the NBA. He had to pay millions of dollars in restitution, blah, 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 right? It was kind of a story that was hot for a minute and it just went away after Donald Sterling just got banned from the NBA. I don't think Mr. Sterling is dead either. I think he's still alive, but he's 90-some years old. The show is good. It's a good show. I'm tuned in every week. I think the last episode comes on Tuesday. But some things just, I don't know. It don't sit right with me. The first and number one thing is how they did Lawrence Fishburne's hairline for Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers' hair really don't look like that in real life. I was just okay. When Lawrence Fishburne was on the screen, I just couldn't help but stare. I'm like, Lord, did they really do this? Did they really do this? But they did an okay job with the casting of the NBA players. Mr. Sterling is played by Ed O'Neill, who was the father from Married with Children. He did a great job with that. I don't know who's the wife of Mr. Sterling. I want to say Sally Struthers, but I could be very, 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 very wrong. So if you guys know the actress who played Mrs. Sterling, just please let me know, because I don't want to be sitting here saying, the wife is played by Sally Struthers, and Sally Struthers hasn't been on TV in a few years. So, yeah, just let me know. And when they casted the NBA players, I think it was kind of spot on. I think they made Blake Griffin seem like a tree hugger, but I don't know a lot about Blake Griffin, so he probably is a tree hugger in real life. I don't know. But it's a great show. I don't watch it on regular TV because I don't have regular cable, so I wait for it to come on Hulu. It's a limited series, so of course, because it was a limited situation, and it went away, and it was in 2014. And the aesthetics of this show, like a lot of things that took me back. 2014, I was 19 years old, so I was probably in my first year of college or finishing my first year of college. I remember old school Instagram. I didn't have an iPhone until 2017, 2016. And I remember having an Android and how Instagram looked on there and like what you posted on Instagram. Just fun and silly photos. Nowadays on Instagram, people is exposing and telling sad stories and all that stuff. Which, come on, we got to get back to happy Instagram. But the phones they had, the fashion, the cars they drove, the things that happened, man, it kind of brought back some memories. So that's why I also like watching that show. But check it out. It is on Hulu. It is on FX, but if you don't have cable like I do, it posts at 2 o'clock in the morning. And what I like about Hulu is that like they have the episode up, but it's locked, and then they unlock it at 2 o'clock, and they'll let you know that it's unlocked at 2 o'clock. So it's a good show. Diddy. I got some Diddy news. Kim Porter's dad reacted to the Diddy video. I hated that, maybe it did happen, I don't know. But I hate that I don't hear that Kim Porter's father, tracked down Diddy and gave him his consequence, I should say. I hate that, Mr. Porter had to talk to the press about it. I just wish that he handled it privately, if y'all know what I mean. Diddy's honorary degree has been revoked. The key to New York City he gave back. As I told y'all in the last episode, he should have done that because I think that key is for people who deserve it and not Diddy because, he's from New York. His father was some sort of drug dealer back in the New York days and blah, blah, blah. No. Somebody who could represent that city very well and not have a bunch of craziness in his background. That's who deserves the key to the city, in my opinion. Martin Lawrence health rumors. I don't think there's anything wrong with Martin Lawrence. If you've lost a lot of people in your life, you're not going to have a good day every day. I remember at Aretha Franklin's funeral, Tyler Perry mentioned grief come in waves. That legitimately does happen. The guy who played Nipsey on Martin was Martin's best friend in real life. So he had just passed away. And he probably was sitting thinking about him. And, wow, I wish my friend was here to see this and all that stuff. Because if you watch, these fun GQ interviews with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith because they were promoting Bad Boys 4, you could see he looks normal. And he's, in reality, a quiet guy. You could be the goofiest, funniest person, and you could be a comedian for your life, but behind closed doors, you're just quiet. It's nothing wrong with that at all. It's nothing wrong with that. I still haven't seen Bad Boys 4 either. I know, I'm terrible, but I think what I'll do is when it comes on streaming, I'll rent it for $2 or something. I really don't have a mood to go to the movies lately. So I'll just wait until it go on streaming. Something else about Martin Lawrence I wanted to say, but I kind of forgot. I hate when this happens. The Michael biopic is finished. They just wrapped it up about a few weeks ago. I can't wait to see that movie too. And it better be at least 3 hours long. I don't mind sitting in a theater. Now that movie, hopefully everything will be better for me. Maybe I'll be in a better mood, but I'm going to go see Michael. And then me and my best friend, we going to be dressed up in our Michael t-shirts, just like we did for Tupac t-shirt. We went to go see All Eyes on Me, right, in the theaters. It was a mediocre movie. I mean, it's not it wasn't on the level of what's like a good biopic movie that like did numbers at the theater? I don't know, but we got. I mean, that's us. That's what we do, and I love it. We dressed up. We had on our Tupac t-shirts. We going to see this movie, and it was a 3 out of 5. Like, but it was alright. We love Tupac, but it better be good. I want, like, the pictures I've seen. They really done up Michael Jafar Jackson, which is Michael's nephew, like his biological nephew. They really did him up. Some of the pictures I've seen, you know, probably have to have you do a double take. Like, oh shit, is that Michael? No, it's Jafar. So, I hope they cover everything. The pictures I've seen, it covers his like, I don't want to say heyday, but like Thriller and Bad. I really want them to cover like Michael from the 90s. I want to see that. Just stuff like that I want to see. When his marriage, I want the movie to cover his marriages, when he had kids, like, cause I'm nosy like that, I guess, but I want to see that too. So this movie probably will be 3 hours long. I would not be surprised. I also learned that at the time of Michael Jackson's death, he was $500 million in debt. I don't know. I exactly don't know how that happened, because the man like owned practically everything, but then again, you know, things got a little tight for him. He had that trial in 2005, had to pay the lawyers, left America, didn't like work as much, but you know, I think that was insensitive for them to put out. I mean, the estate's doing fine now, I guess, but we don't want to know how much debt that man was in when he passed away. You know, it's just impossible. I mean, not impossible, but just improper. Another I-am word, I guess. So that, we over that, there's that. Did anybody see Ray J's Club Shay Shay interview? I sat through that whole, I didn't sit through, I listened to the whole interview on the day it came out, so it came out on Wednesday. To me, that whole interview was alarming and scary, especially to a point where, well, the whole mood of the interview was kind of dark and scary, and then you opened up about a woman showing you how to bathe yourself, and you were 14 and she was 34, 35. I just wanted to yell out, you were groomed. Did your parents know? Did you go to the police? Like, it was very scary. And then I took a sad turn when he said Brandy don't really talk to him, doesn't invite him to family events. So that whole interview, it just left a bad taste in my mouth, and I hope everything works out between Ray J and Brandy. I don't think that interview should have been aired if it was like dark like that, honestly. It made me worry for Ray J, honestly. Like, to be very honest, it made me worry. I didn't like the mood of it. I didn't like what he was talking about. I didn't like some of the answers he gave Shannon Sharp. It was just a scary, scary, scary interview, in my opinion. So I'm going to move on from that. 2 more things, and then I'm going to get out your hair, because this episode is going to probably be an hour and 40 minutes. The longest episode I've ever done because of my rant. But one, if I didn't tell you guys in the last episode, when I had a lot of downtime, I was watching Shameless. So I finished Shameless, and when I tell y'all, I am disappointed in the series finale. Why? Because when I watch a series finale, I like to know of a story, like a little small snippet of the story of what happens to the characters, the characters. Like in Coach Carter, even though I know it was based off true events, like they at least put like what each star player was doing at the end of the movie. I wanted that for Shameless, but no, they ended it with like a song and a car being on fire and Frank going up in the air and writing a letter to his children. But it was a good show overall, but I didn't like the series finale. And it took me like 3 weeks to watch it. It was like, 10, 11 seasons or whatever. So, yeah, I didn't like it. And Dr. Fauci, F you. F you, F you, F you, because why did you make up stuff and then people went along with it and they sacrificed a lot? We couldn't hug our family members, we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that, we couldn't see our family members for months, it was depressing, all that stuff. Only for you to sit there and say, I made it up. Oh God, I was so mad. Like, what the hell? But at the same time, it's like, we didn't know what this disease was, what this illness was. We don't know really what to do. And I guess in your defense, you didn't know what to do either. But honestly, you should have kept that one quiet. But then when people lost people, it was just messed up that he came out and said that, basically, after the pandemic, after all the damage has been done. Bro, why? So that's it for me. It's 11:34 p.m. and I still have to record the Shy, the Shy freaking review, and I think that's gonna be another hour. But I thank y'all again for listening. To my father, man, listen, we gotta do better. You know, I'm not bashing you. Just, this is what I went through, and I don't know if you noticed or if you realized, but I love you, and I would love for you to pick up the phone more. And this one day, I'm gonna have kids, and I want them to know their grandfather, and just stuff like that, you know. But I love my father. Please don't walk away thinking, man, she dissed him down. No, I love him. It's just, this is what I went through in my childhood. I think I should have had better. And other things, that the peep shit part, I really can't get into, because that would be a bigger mess than what it is. But thank y'all for listening. Keep an eye out for the Shy review. I'll probably drop the podcast tonight, and then I'll put the Shy review out tomorrow, but I'll record it tonight. I don't know. But follow me on all social media. I'll put it in the description box. Follow me on YouTube. Have a great 4th of July if you celebrate. Be safe. Don't pop too much fireworks. And I will hopefully release an episode probably in late July. Hopefully not August. I'm really, really trying to be like monthly. I think I should be monthly, because I just don't have time to do it I don't see how, like, Joe Budden and them do it. But I think, no, it's a job to them. I'm thinking, like, how do people, I don't know. But that's it for me. I'm gonna go, because I want a snack. So I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.